Have you ever been stuck in traffic on I-25 and suddenly a hilarious vanity plate catches your eye, making the whole commute better? Well, in this explainer, we're diving into the ultimate bureaucratic gauntlet, getting your very own personalized license plate in Colorado.
Just listen to these. Too dirty for COS. Snail AF. Fast MFR. Back the F up. You know what these all have in common? They are actual, real-life, rejected plates that crashed and burned against Colorado's high-tech vetting system back in 2022. It's proof that while you've got creative freedom, the state is definitely watching. So how do you actually get your brilliant idea approved?
Here's our roadmap for navigating the DMV. We'll cover the power of personalization, how to brainstorm and verify your idea, navigating the application process, submission timelines, and finally, the activation rules.
Part 1. The power of personalization. Express yourself on Colorado roads. Now, why even bother with the paperwork? Well, custom plates are just a fantastic way to boost your business visibility, maybe support a favorite charity, or honestly, just show off your unique personality to everyone on the highway. And wow, you are certainly not short on options here. Colorado actually offers an impressive 212 different license plate styles. We're talking everything from the classic green and white mountain plates to group special plates for things like the Colorado Rockies, breast cancer awareness, and even adopting shelter pets. And the absolute best part? You can personalize almost all of them. But right out of the gate, let's check your eligibility. To even kick off this process, you have to be a registered vehicle owner in Colorado, and you need a valid ID or driver's license. Plus, you need to own a passenger vehicle, motorcycle, or truck and agree to comply with all state design guidelines. Meet those basic criteria? Awesome! You're officially eligible to enter the brainstorming phase. Section 2. Brainstorming and verifying availability, beating the drive system. This is the fun but definitely tricky part, coming up with a clever plate that can actually get past the state's automated gatekeeper.
You absolutely have to know the ground rules here. You get up to 7 characters for cars, or 6 for motorcycles. You can use uppercase English letters A through Z, numbers 1 through 9, blank spaces, dashes, and periods. But here is the massive gotcha. The number 0 is completely banned for standard vanity plates, no exceptions. And, as you probably guess, no offensive words or slang. Don't let a 0 ruin your whole application.
Speaking of offensive words, you are up against a surprisingly huge hurdle here. There are over 42,000 restricted terms on the DMV's offensive omit list. The state uses a really rigorous system called drives, which relies on phonetic algorithms to catch masked profanities, slurs, and even political phrases like QAnon slogans. If the automated algorithm flags it, a human reviewer double-checks it. So you've got to keep it clean, folks. To make sure your idea isn't dead on arrival, follow these 3 steps. Step 1. Check availability. Use third-party tools like Plate Radar to see if someone already claimed your dream plate. Step 2. Pick 2 to 6 backup configurations. The state actually requires backups just in case your first choice is taken. And step 3, this is critical. You have to clearly write down the intended meaning of your plate on the application. Even if you think the joke is super obvious, if you leave that box blank, they will deny it.
Moving on to Section 3, navigating the application process, forms, fees, and 0 refunds. Let's talk about turning your idea into actual paperwork.
Once your ideas are locked in, you need to grab Form DR 2810. This is the official Colorado personalized license plate application, and it's basically your golden ticket. You've got to fill the whole thing out and make absolutely sure your name and address match your current vehicle registration exactly.
All right, let's talk money. The fees are pretty straightforward. You're looking at a one-time personalization fee of $60 plus a $25 ongoing annual renewal fee. That's on top of your regular taxes and registration, of course. Keep in mind, if you're going for a specific group specialty plate, like an alumni or charity one, you might have to provide an upfront certificate or make an initial donation to that organization before you can even apply for the personalized version.
Now listen closely because this is a huge warning straight from our sources. No refunds. If you make a mistake on your application, like maybe you forget to mark a blank space or you check the wrong box for the plate type, the state will not give you your money back. Fixing a mistake means submitting a brand new application and paying that $60 fee all over again. So please, double and triple check that form before you submit it. Section 4. Submission and delivery timelines. Getting your application in. So how do you actually submit that DR 2810 form, and how long are you going to be waiting?
You basically have 3 pathways. Doing it online via the MyDMV portal is hands down your fastest route, taking just 1 to 5 days for processing. If you have a specific plate type that forces you to go in person to a local DMV, expect it to take a few days. But if you decide to mail it to the Denver P.O. Box, well, you'll need a lot more patience, because that usually takes 2 to 4 weeks just to get processed.
So what happens after you submit? First, you'll receive an approval letter in the mail. And here's a pro tip. Do not send your money with the initial application. Wait for that approval letter. Once you get it, you have exactly a 21-day window to pay your fees. After you pay, your plates are physically manufactured by Colorado Correctional Industries, and eventually you'll get a notice to either pick them up locally or they'll just be mailed right to your door.
But hold your horses. When those shiny physical plates finally arrive, don't just go bolting them onto your bumper. For security reasons during transit, they arrive completely inactive. You have to activate them first through the MyDMV portal or by calling the state. If you skip this step, you could actually get flagged by law enforcement for unauthorized use.
Which brings us right to Section 5, Activation and Troubleshooting Rules, maintaining your custom plate. Because getting the plate is honestly just half the battle. Keeping it requires knowing a few slightly obscure administrative rules.
For example, you might be wondering, what happens if someone actually complains about your plate? Approval isn't necessarily permanent. What if a clever joke that sneaked past the drive system suddenly offends somebody in traffic?
Well, Colorado has a really strict policy for this known as the 3-complaint rule. Basically, if the DMV receives 3 independent, formal, written complaints from the public stating that your plate is offensive to public taste, it triggers a mandatory administrative review. If the state agrees with the complaints, they can revoke your plate and you'll have to surrender it. It just goes to show you're always accountable to public decency standards, even after the plate is bolted to your car.
Here's another really important scenario. Say you sell your car, but you really want to keep your awesome vanity text for a future vehicle. You can actually hold the text off vehicle. To do this, you just submit Form DR2232. The configuration has to have been previously registered to a vehicle you own, and it costs a $25 annual non-refundable fee. You can hold it for a maximum of 5 years. But here is the real kicker. The state sends absolutely 0 renewal reminders.
And that is absolutely crucial, because you have to track this annual deadline yourself. You get a strict 1-month grace period. If you miss that window, your custom configuration is permanently released back to the public. Someone else could snag it instantly, and your clever idea is gone forever.
Now, as with anything bureaucratic, procedures, forms, and fees are always subject to change. We highly recommend you always verify current regulations directly with the Colorado Department of Motor Vehicles before starting your application. It really is the absolute best way to ensure you have the latest info and avoid paying that fee twice.
All right, we've navigated the forms, the fees, the automated filters, and the timelines. Now that you know exactly how to defeat the gauntlet, it's time for the fun part. With 212 styles and up to 7 characters at your disposal, what story will your license plate tell? Get creative, stay clean, and hit the open road. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.